In the heart of the city, where life rushes past unnoticed, a forgotten man makes a choice that changes everything. One fateful day, Michael, a homeless musician burdened by lost dreams, risks his life to save a child from certain death. What follows is a journey of redemption, unexpected friendships, and a second chance at life. Guided by none other than Hollywood star Keanu Reeves, this is a story of courage, compassion, and the profound impact of a single selfless act. Watch to the end to find out the rest of the story. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment about where you're watching from. Your support will help me tell more stories like this. The city bustled with life as autumn's golden hues enveloped the streets. The crisp air carried the scent of roasted chestnuts from street vendors, mingling with the occasional whiff of exhaust from passing cars. The contrast was striking. Majestic old buildings with ivy-clad facades stood alongside towering glass skyscrapers. Amidst this vibrant scenery, Michael moved like a shadow, his presence barely acknowledged by the hurried crowd. His tattered coat hung loosely over his thin frame, and Charlie, his loyal companion, trotted faithfully by his side. The city, with all its grandeur and indifference, mirrored Michael's own paradoxical existence, rich in spirit but impoverished in circumstance. Michael had once been a man with dreams as vast as the sky. His fingers danced effortlessly on the strings of his guitar, conjuring melodies that spoke of hope and longing. But life, with its relentless twists, had other plans. A series of unfortunate events, a failed record deal, the loss of his parents, and an economic downturn plunged him into homelessness. Yet, through it all, Michael retained a gentle soul. His bond with Charlie, a stray he had rescued, became his anchor in a sea of despair. Each night, under the stars, he strummed his guitar, weaving stories of a life that once was, and perhaps could be again. The true villain of Michael's story wasn't a person, but the pervasive shadow of poverty and neglect. Society's gaze often slid past him, seeing only an inconvenience, never the man within. The systemic issues, lack of affordable housing, inadequate social services, and societal indifference, were the silent yet relentless adversaries that kept Michael bound in chains of despair. Each day was a battle against hunger, cold, and the loneliness that came from being unseen. Yet, Michael fought on, his spirit refusing to be extinguished by the cold, hard reality of his world. The afternoon sun bathed the city in a golden glow as children's laughter echoed through the park. Michael sat on a bench watching the world go by when a shrill cry pierced the air. His heart leaped as he saw little Lucy chasing her ball into the street, oblivious to the oncoming car. Without a second thought, Michael sprang into action. His legs propelled him forward, and in a heartbeat, he scooped Lucy into his arms, rolling them both to safety on the sidewalk. The car screeched to a halt, the driver pale with shock. Gasps and applause erupted from onlookers. But Michael barely noticed. His only concern was the trembling child in his arms, safe and sound. In the days following the rescue, Michael found himself thrust into the spotlight. News cameras captured his image, and strangers approached with words of gratitude and offers of help. But with the attention came an inner turmoil. Michael, who had long accepted his place on the fringes of society, now grappled with a new reality. The sudden wave of admiration clashed with his deeply ingrained self-doubt. Could he accept their kindness? Did he deserve it? Each night, as he lay on his makeshift bed, these questions haunted him, weaving a tapestry of introspection and doubt that threatened to unravel the fabric of his identity. The city buzzed with chatter about the homeless man who had saved a little girl's life. Amidst the noise, one name stood out: Keanu Reeves. Sitting in his sunlit kitchen, Keanu scrolled through the news, his brow furrowing as he read about Michael. There was something about the story that resonated deeply with him: the selflessness, the quiet courage, the profound humanity. Keanu's heart ached as he thought of Michael's plight. He reached for his phone and made a few calls. Within hours, his team was contacting local shelters, looking for the man who had become a city's hero. Keanu wanted to meet him, not as a celebrity, but as a fellow human being moved by an act of pure kindness. The first meeting between Keanu and Michael was understated but electric, with unspoken emotions. They met at a quiet cafe, Keanu's presence drawing only a few curious glances. Michael, dressed in his worn but clean clothes, was nervous but intrigued by the man sitting across from him. "Thank you for meeting me," Keanu began, his voice gentle. "Your story, it moved me. I wanted to know more about you." Michael's eyes flickered with surprise. "I'm just an ordinary guy who did what anyone else would do." "Not everyone would risk their life for a stranger," Keanu countered, leaning in. "Tell me about your life, your dreams." And so Michael spoke. He talked about his love for music, the band he once had, the dreams that faded with time and hardship. Keanu listened intently, his empathy palpable. "You still have music in you, Michael. It's never too late to find your rhythm again." Michael walked out of that meeting with a lightness he hadn't felt in years. Keanu's words echoed in his mind, filling the cracks of his broken spirit with a new sense of hope. But it wasn't just words that Keanu offered. He was determined to help Michael rebuild his life. The next few weeks were a whirlwind. Keanu arranged for Michael to have a place to stay, connected him with old friends in the music industry, and even set up a small concert where Michael could play. The concert was intimate, filled with people who believed in second chances. As Michael strummed his guitar that night, the audience watched in awe. The melodies he played were not just music. They were the sound of resilience, of a man reclaiming his identity. Keanu stood in the shadows, a soft smile on his face, knowing that he had done something meaningful. The bond between Keanu and Michael grew stronger with each passing day. They often met for coffee, their conversations meandering from deep philosophical musings to light-hearted banter. Keanu's genuine interest in Michael's well-being was evident, and Michael found solace in these moments of connection. One day, Keanu invited Michael to his home. As they sat on the patio overlooking the city's skyline, Michael opened up about his fears. "What if I mess this up? What if I'm not meant for this second chance?" Keanu placed a reassuring hand on his shoulder. "Everyone deserves a second chance, Michael. It's not about perfection, it's about progress. You've already proven your strength and courage. Now it's time to believe in yourself as much as others believe in you." As the seasons changed, so did Michael's life. The city that once felt cold and indifferent now seemed to hum with possibilities. Michael began teaching music to children at a local community center, his passion igniting a spark in young hearts. His days were filled with purpose, his nights with dreams of a brighter future. The relationship between Michael and Keanu remained a constant source of inspiration. Keanu's unwavering support reminded Michael that he was not alone, that kindness could indeed change the world. The city, too, seemed to respond to Michael's newfound hope. People began recognizing him, not as the homeless man who saved a child, but as a... In the quiet moments of reflection, Michael would think back to that fateful day when he saved Lucy. It had set in motion a series of events that changed his life beyond imagination. And as he stood on the precipice of a new beginning, he knew that the tides had indeed shifted, carrying him towards a future filled with endless possibilities. The rescue had been a moment of sheer instinct, a blur of fear and adrenaline. But now, as the days passed, the city's mood seemed to shift, mirroring the changing tides of Michael's life. The once indifferent streets now greeted him with nods of recognition, murmurs of respect. Michael, however, felt like a man caught between two worlds. He still walked the same paths, slept under the same weathered blankets, and shared his meals with Charlie, but there was a new lightness in his step. The gratitude of Lucy's family had ignited a flicker of hope he hadn't felt in years. Keanu's outreach was the true turning point. The actor's words lingered in Michael's mind. "You have a story that deserves to be heard, Michael. Let's make sure it is." It was a promise of change, a beacon guiding him through the fog of uncertainty. Michael's days began to take on a new rhythm. Each morning he found himself waking up with a sense of purpose, something he hadn't experienced in years. With Keanu's encouragement, he began revisiting old dreams, dusting off his guitar, and strumming the chords that had once defined his life. Charlie watched with a wagging tail as Michael poured his heart into the music, rediscovering a part of himself he thought long lost. The once muted notes now resonated with hope, filling the air with a melody that spoke of resilience and rebirth. The city, too, seemed to respond. Street performers stopped to listen, passers-by lingered longer, and for the first time in years, Michael felt seen. Not as a homeless man, but as an artist, a person with a story and a soul. The city had always been a place of contrasts, beauty and decay, opportunity and despair. Now Michael saw it through a different lens. The golden hues of autumn leaves reminded him of life's fleeting moments, the ever-present possibility of change. Walking through familiar streets, he noticed the cracks in the pavement less and the vibrant murals more. Each corner held memories of hardship, but also of small kindnesses. A warm smile, a shared meal, a kind word. The city had shaped him, just as he had left his mark on it. As he played his music on street corners, the city became his stage, each note weaving a tapestry of his journey. The struggles, the hope, the unwavering spirit that refused to be crushed. It was a crisp morning when Keanu approached Michael with an offer that left him speechless. "I want to help you share your music with the world," he said, his eyes earnest. "Let's record an album, tell your story through your song." The words felt surreal. Michael had spent so many nights dreaming of a life where his music could be heard, but never did he imagine it could happen now, in this way. With Keanu's help, Michael found himself in a recording studio, his fingers trembling as they touched the strings. The process was transformative. Each song was a chapter of his life, the heartache, the resilience, the moments of joy amidst the sorrow. The music became his voice, a testament to the power of perseverance and the beauty of second chances. The journey was not without its challenges. There were moments of doubt where the weight of his past threatened to pull him back into the shadows, but Keanu's unwavering support and the growing community of listeners kept him grounded. The pacing of his new life was different from the frenetic days on the streets. There was a rhythm to it, a balance between the highs of performing and the quiet introspection needed to heal. Each step forward felt deliberate, a choice to embrace the future rather than be shackled by the past. As the album neared completion, Michael realized that the journey itself was the reward. The act of creating, of sharing his truth, was a healing process, bringing closure to wounds long ignored. The album's release was met with overwhelming support. Reviews praised the raw honesty of Michael's lyrics, the soulful melodies that spoke to the heart. But beyond the acclaim, it was the letters from listeners that touched him the most, stories of people who found hope and courage through his music. Michael's journey had come full circle. From a man lost in the shadows of the city to a beacon of hope for others, his story was a testament to the power of kindness and resilience. Keanu's belief in him had sparked a transformation, but it was Michael's own courage and talent that carried him through. In the end, the moral was clear. No act of kindness is ever wasted, and even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. Michael's life had been forever changed by a single, selfless act, proving that sometimes it takes a hero to save a child, and a child to save a hero.